Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. Excuse me. I need to make a birthday card today, and it is for a friend that I don't see very often. She's turning 50, so this is her golden jubilee, and we go way back. I met Denny when she was 27 years old. I can't believe it. I don't know where the time has gone. She has she's been in her family, and she has been in our life for many years, obviously. If I met her when she was 27, she's turning 50. They were neighbors. Denny also worked for me. She's a master gardener. She's an artist, and she has a very unique swag about her when she walks. She's very earthy, crunchy. She has a robust laugh. She's Swedish, and she looks like she just came from Sweden. She's an absolutely beautiful girl. And she was big into swimming. She has beaten and won all kinds of records and races. She has swam lakes. She's very athletic. We used to hike together. We would go on vacation together, her family and our family. So we have a long history. And I haven't seen Denny maybe in, I think we had lunch 2 years ago. And she's a huge reader. And her and I like a lot of the same genre. And we will swap books. All of a sudden, I'll go out, I'll find a stack of books in my mailbox. I'll drop things off, a bag of books at her door. It's it's a very unique relationship. We know that we're there for each other, and we could call each other. It's kind of like a silent, hidden relationship. That's the only way I can describe it. So we are going, her husband, who we don't really know, she has remarried. I think she remarried years ago. She left her husband, and she has a new hubby now, and he's a fantastic guy. And he contacted us out of the blue. Hey, I'm giving Denny a surprise birthday party. This is the time. We'll see you then. Perfect, great. Not saying I'm going to know anybody there, but I'm definitely going to go. I want to see Denny. So I decided that I have been itching to use these Sizzix thinlits, and this is right up Denny's alley. She grows gourds in her garden, in her pergola area. And there was one day that I opened up my mailbox. There was a huge dried gourd in it. And she said, with a note, she says, here, make a birdhouse. Do something with it. Decoupage it, something. She also throws pottery. She's just extremely, extremely talented. So every now and then I will find something. I might find roots to a plant she dug up on my front porch with a note. She's almost like this little elf that just kind of drops things to me here and there. So I thought that this just reflects Denny so much. I wanted to make her a very simple, even though her life is I would say it is complicated, but yet it's very, very simple. And she's finally found the true happiness, I think, that she's had been looking for years, and she so much deserves with this new man that she has. And I couldn't be happier for her. So I wanted to she does have a bonsai tree at home. She's a minimalist. Her home is gorgeous. Everything is like white in there with splashes of color here and there. Many, many plants. I know she has bonsai. She has orchids. So I thought this would be perfect to create something like this for her card. So I kind of studied to see which ones were going to work, and the ones that I chose, I'm going to set this aside. So this one here is number 665038, if you're wondering. Has 16 dies to it. You'll probably have to find this online. I don't think they have it in the stores anymore. So I have a very simple white card here. And when I was working in my tiny journal, I had used, I don't have my tiny journal here, but I had used some embossed paper on a couple of the pages, and I just loved it. So that kind of inspired me to get my Cuttlebug out. That, you know, these are my my forgotten friends and my lost. They're not lost, but they think they're lost because I don't pay much attention to them. So I don't know if you can see this pattern. Let me put this might help a little bit. Yeah, so this is the pattern. It's kind of like a floral, squiggly, whatever. It's just a random, and I really like it. There's also a border that goes with it. I think this is a unique die cut. And there's a border over here. So if you put a full piece of paper, you can create a border. Or here, you can have your paper here like this, all right? Let's get this on here. I'll show you something else you can do with it. And you could run it through. You could have a border on this side and a border on this side. You could cut it down to make it the same size. You could leave it like that. However, that's just another idea that you could do. So I used this embossing folder here. Set that aside. And because it is a Golden Jubilee birthday, like I said, she's turning 50, I had to use my golden acrylic. So I cut this down, and it's not going to cover the whole card. It's just going to cover a portion of the card. And I just put some golden fluid around it, okay? So I went and did that because this had to dry, obviously, before I could use it, because I didn't want the gold all over. I'm going to set the card aside. So when I picked out, I chose this design here, and I wanted to really kind of stick with this. Like I said, Denny's really earthy, crunchy, and she likes muted colors and such. So I found this kind of like a burnt orange, and this is going to be the container that holds the bonsai, and that will be going right about here on this piece right here, okay? Then the first thing I did was I thought I would use a cream color because I wanted it to be muted, but when I got it on here, it was a little too, as you can see, it's too light. So I said, all right, well, we are going to go with a dark brown. So I cut, and these are fragile little pieces. So I cut this piece out right here. And this is going to kind of swing around like this. I may cut it down a little bit, raise it up, and have it come maybe like this in the center. I don't know. I will figure that out shortly, okay? And then all of these little pieces here. So this is the die cut for the branches. This is the die cut for the flowers, all right, petals. And then this is the little die cut. That's where you see this here for the interior accents for the flowers. And these are teeny, teeny, teeny. Teeny, tiny, teeny. Let me show you. There is the inside. So this year I'm definitely working and creating with tiny pieces. But I love it. I just love the tiny little pieces. It's like putting sprinkles on a cookie. Move these over here like this. And then the flowers. Here's one. And I'll show you where I got the paper for this because I had a dickens of a time trying to figure out exactly where I was going to find these colors. I kind of wanted a muted orange and a somewhat salmon color, okay? Because I just think that they're very harmonious. They go together really well. So I looked through my scrap papers and I didn't find anything. And then I got thinking, let's go to a collage or whatever. Before I show you where I get that, I do want to show you one little tip. I don't know if you've ever run into, when you run small little items through your Big Shot machine, the plates are made of a heavy plastic, and this time of year or any time of year it can create static electricity. Okay, so when I cut these out, these were sticking to my fingers. They wouldn't come off of the acrylic plates that you have to put your die cut in between. So I thought these two little things here are from, what are these from? Where do I get my other stamp? Stampin' Up. Thank you. These are from Stampin' Up. And there is like chalk inside here. I believe it's like a chalk. I think you can still buy these from Stampin' Up. I actually have two. This one I haven't used yet. And when you stamp, you use these to protect the area or whatever. I'm not quite sure how to explain what these do, but these work when you stamp, and maybe somebody can explain it better in a comment. So what I did was I took this, because when you go like this, there is a powder. See that? There is a powder that comes out of this. And it just helps protect your paper when you stamp and such. So I took this, and a lot of these were flipped over, because you'll see the back. See the backs of these? They're like a black. And I just dabbed them, and all the static electricity was gone, and no more sticking to anything. So there's a little tip for you. You could probably do it if you have a little bit of talc or baby powder. I don't know if people have it in their house anymore. I know a lot of people don't use that. You could just put a little bit on your hands and maybe dabble, or even just a dusting of flour, and then just kind of take your fingers, and you have things like this and they're upside down, just tap them and they will flip right over, and there's no more static electricity. So backing up a little bit, when I couldn't find the exact colors I wanted to do, I thought, okay, I didn't want to get out my watercolors and, make a collage style, paint thing. So I turned back to collage soup. I haven't used a lot of the paper in here. So all I did was I started thumbing through, because this book here, there's all different shades, of colors, and I just said to myself, I'm sure I could find something that will fit the bill for what I'm looking for. So I did find a page. Oh, not that one. Hold on. I'll show you which one I picked. Where is it? Oh, it's out. Okay, it's not in here. All right. So this is the page here that I found. And it was this paper here, okay, that was right up here. And I just thought the shading between the orange going over into the pink would be just perfect. So don't rule out if you're looking for, you know, a graduation of colors or whatever. Go to a collage book or go to a book that maybe has, that you use for watercolor art in your collages. Do something like that, and then you can find a graduated or array of colors to use. So that's how I came up with these here. I'm just kind of looking. Now, this one, oh, I see what they did here. They used a couple different ones. I'm now looking, instead of using that, I'm kind of looking at this one here, but I don't know. I gotta see which. Okay, this is the side here. So I think maybe I will use this. I just might bring this up a little bit more. Maybe if I center this a little bit. Now, the other thing that, you know, one has to think about is these are very delicate little pieces. How are you going to glue them down on here? I want this to come down a little bit more. And I will show you that. Now, I'm just going to take a look. I may change this only for the size. I want to see if I put this one, if I put this a little bit more down this way. This might be a little bit better. I can use this one here. And then that's not the one. Hold on. Just be patient, folks. Just trying to. So this would actually be like this way. And that would be like that, which I think I'm going to change over, and I'm going to save this, and I think I'm going to use this one only for the fact that because this is taller, I just think as far as the space, it works better. So let me go and cut these, and then we'll come back and we will start adding the flowers. There. All right, that's all cut out. I'll put that over there, and I like that much better. So I will get this down, at least the bottom here. I'm going to use a little bit of glue here, and I'm not going to do the top because I want to be able to slide slide this down, these little stalks or stems, slide them down in here. So we're going to put that. Like that. So now we have this open here. So I've got room to put these down in. And I just want to know if I'm going to put these to one side, because bonsais, most of the time, they do not grow out of the center of a dish. I think most of them grow in a dish. Okay, so we're going to put that one over here. And I'm going to do a very... Now, there's a couple different glues that you can use for this. I'm going to use my fine tip here. But if you don't have a fine tip on your glue, what I have used for years and years and years, and I don't have a lot left in here. That's another reason why I'm not. This one is... I've got more in here. This is made by Zig Memory System. It's a two-way glue, squeeze and roll. This has almost like a little pen on it, and I'll show you how this works, and then I can fill in with this little tip. But this works really well, and you just squeeze this here, and like I said, I've used this for years, and you squeeze it and you see how it comes out, and this is really good for fine work like this. Okay, I'll use this on a lot in my scrapbook. I like to use this for my letters. All right, but this one here, because it has the raised, I'm going to put my glue here like this and just kind of like paint it on. And don't get too heavy-handed with it, only for the fact that when you push this down, it will squirt out the side. So I'm going to open this up a little bit. Get that down in there. Oh, Daisy, what are you barking at? My girl. Little D. My husband's calling her Big D, because she's putting on her winter weight. And then, oh, I think my son's home. Okay, so we will get this one on. So I haven't even, excuse me, I haven't even had a chance to thank you for joining me today and welcoming you and asking you how you're doing. It's a snowy Saturday morning here. I don't have a lot to report or chit-chat about. With me working the way I am now, it's just work, work, work. There's really been nothing exciting going on other than work, work, work. And nobody wants to listen to tales about work, work, work. All right, so now we have that on there like that. And that's pretty easy, as you can see, to adhere to. And it's nice because it being a bonsai tree, the stalks and branches can go anywhere. So I'm going to slip away and I'm going to start attaching and gluing, because you don't need to see this, these little flowers on here. When I get this all done, we'll come back, we'll put this on the front card, and then I will show you what I have done for the inside. So as you can see, I have the flowers glued on here, and it wasn't bad. You just have to take your time, and if you have the right tools, I have my little paddle here where I can pick the flowers up, and then you have your tweezers, and I have my little weeder here where I can hold them down and make sure everything is on. It wasn't that bad. So what I'm going to do now is I went and I wanted to add some washi tape to this, and I have this here, which is really, really pretty. But again, I didn't want to incorporate green or this. So amongst this packet of washi, I think I got this over on Temu, or no, AliExpress years ago. They've got really nice washi. I have, what came in there is this, and I think it's a perfect pattern to go with the entire theme. So I'm going to put this right about here, all right? I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of tape to this, just in case I want to move it. I'm not going to glue it down yet. I'm just going to try to get a nice border. Let me move this a little bit around here. So if I put this like this, I'm going to want to move this over a little bit. And I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not measuring. And then my next thing is I'm wondering if I should put the washi tape on this side. It might be a little bit better. I'm just going to move this here like this. And I do want to kind of keep it close to this. So I think this will be just fine right here like that. I think it'll be a nice enough border. I did think about, remember I showed you on this, there is a little border here, but this isn't wide enough. And I don't want to do it on this side and then add the gold again. I think it would take away from this. So I think that's what I'm going to do here. And I'm not going to take this off because I don't want to lose my place. So after this is done, I'm going to have to get ready for the party. And I'd like to go to the bookstore. And I don't know if I want to, I'd really like to get her a really nice gardening book. Or I'm reading a book now that I know she would absolutely love. And it has to do with the Chinese culture. and it's called Lady Tan's Circle of Women. My daughter-in-law got that for me for Christmas. And I don't know if they have it in the bookstore or if Mara ordered it special for me. But I might tell hubby that we're gonna run down to Barnes and Noble and I'll check it out. All right, so, and this I am going to have to add some washi, or of course I'm going to add washi too. I'm going to have to add some glue to this, but I'm almost wondering, I'm going to take a strip of tape and run it down the center, because again, if I put a little dot on there, if I start with the glue immediately, I may run into trouble. And I think this is good. And I am going to cut this. There. Oh, I like that. I think that is a very, should I say, harmonious front cover. I think that's really pretty. And I think that will be fine. I don't think I need to glue that down at all, that little bit of tape on there. But I think that's very pretty. And then the inside, I did this happy birthday off center because I want to add a couple little flowers here. And it says, it's a Chinese proverb, he who plants a garden plants happiness. So I thought that would be just perfect for that. And we're going to put this right here like that. Because this is how I like to do the insides of my cards. Just like that, okay? And then this is where I'm going to, now I have this left over. I could actually cut this down a little bit. Or I could put it like this. And then I could just put a few little flowers on this. And I think that would be really cute on there. So let's do that. Because then it will look a little bit better with the off-center birthday. Everything doesn't have to be centered, and you can take a little artistic, put a little artistic twist on it. And it's obvious this type of card isn't, this isn't a mass make card. I know there's a lot of girls that out there that do mass make card making, but this is not one of them. And sometimes it's really nice to have the card, although not today because I'll be getting Denny a nice gift. Sometimes it's nice just to have, if you don't gift people, gift them a beautiful card. All right, so I have some of these left over. Put one there. I have a small little one that I didn't use on the other. And this does not have to be overabundant. And then I need a little center. And I think that'll be quite lovely, just like that. And then Mike and I can sign it. Or I could write Denny a note underneath it, and then I won't have to mess all of this up. I don't. Sometimes I just don't like my handwriting on a really pretty card. So I want to thank everybody for joining me today for this special card making. I hope I've inspired you once again to kind of think out of the box and create something special for someone, because they will know that it's a special card. And I love handmade cards because just the time that goes into them, the thought, gathering everything, I think they're just gorgeous. So yeah, if you're new to my channel, if this is the first time that you've seen my channel and how I roll and what I do, I would love to have you subscribe if you like my style, you like what I do. And I want to thank all of my patrons over on Patreon. You are a blessing to me over there. Because we do talk about blessings a lot over on my channel. So thank you. Put that little one right there. And I think that is all it needs. I think that is all it needs. So here is the outside, which I think is just quite lovely. And then here is the inside. He who plants a garden plants happiness, Chinese proverb. So again, I want to thank everyone today for joining me at my table to create this lovely, lovely card. I wish you all much happiness and good thoughts, good karma at the good vibes, whatever you roll by at your craft table. And again, if you don't like large projects, by all means, create a card and send it to someone, because it's always doesn't have to be a birthday card. It could just say thinking of you with a little quote inside, because it really does lift people's spirits getting something other than a bill in the mail. This would make a lovely piece of happy mail as well. So again, I want everyone to have a fantastic week. I want everyone to get their creativity juices flowing, get your mojo going, go and create, have a ball, and I will see you in my next video. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.